We all know the feeling. It's the crawling sensation on the back of the neck. The insistent, niggling feeling that we're being followed. It's the feeling that there are eyes in the dark, watching, waiting. In that moment, you know, just know, that there is a clawed hand reaching toward the back of your head. Sometimes we stay still and try to ignore the feeling. Sometimes we whirl around, but there's nothing there. Then we laugh, pass it off as imagination, and go on with our lives. But what if? What if there really was something there, but you just weren't able to see it? Or perhaps you're one of the people who can see. Our world is under siege. Our existence is threatened. The truth is that we've probably been living under the shadow of this threat for hundreds of years, since the first cases of dark fever were identified in Harbour City. I've lived here all my life, and I never gave it any thought. I never knew about the threat until just recently. One moment, everything was normal, ordinary. The next thing I knew, an arm grabbed me around the stomach, forcing all the air from my lungs like a giant vice. I fell to the ground, blacking out for a moment. When I opened my eyes, a land of dark greys was before me, the sand and the sky virtually indistinguishable. Standing over me was a creature like nothing I'd ever seen. It had 3 mouths, and they murmured through jagged teeth, while its long, lithe body coiled in preparation for attack. It had huge clawed hands that hovered over me, ready to slash with deadly purpose. I tried to scramble away, scrabbling no more than a few inches across the dry ground, terror making my body disobedient and clumsy. The monster seemed to smile as it took a single step closer, making up the distance between us, raising its hand to strike. That's when she appeared. The first thing I heard was what seemed to be a series of explosions. My focus on my impending doom meant that it took several heartbeats for me to identify the explosions as gunfire from a high-caliber automatic pistol. Holes appeared in the creature in what seemed like slow motion. Vital fluids, black like its skin, leaked from them, some falling onto me. There was another burst of gunfire, and this time, the monster's head just exploded. The headless corpse fell on me, pinning me to the ground and covering me with more blood. A grinning woman appeared over the creature. She was brown-skinned, tall, athletic, and pointing the high-caliber pistol I had heard earlier at the creature, carefully avoiding me. First time? And that's how I met Danielle Garcia. After we got back to the normal world I'd always known, she told me how we humans had been hunted for years, but then finally we'd started fighting back. Certain families of humans, blessed or cursed, with the abilities to see the monsters, had been fighting back to keep these demons out of ether. I didn't even know until that moment that we even had a name for our dimension, but the choice makes sense. She said that the fight had been going on for generations, and that her family had been involved since the beginning. Humans began our fight with swords and flintlocks, the best technology we had at the time. But technology changed, prodded by necessity, and by the discoveries of the Doused clan. I had heard the name Doused. Everyone in Harbour City has. But she told me they salvaged technology from this secret place, and that made them more powerful. She said that there are humans living in that grey landscape, and that the Nakamuras are helping them in their battle against the monsters. She told me of how the Chikes had been working for generations to counter the biological effects of the Anonassi. She explained how the Garcias develop and provide the latest weapons to the others for the fight. And she said that the Rostovs have fought all this time to keep everybody else ignorant of the life and death struggle that's been going on right under their noses. We've come a long way from swords, We've come through the invention of the rifle and high-velocity ammunition up to today with our automatic weapons and clips of high-caliber shells. The gun in Danielle's hand was the most advanced weapon I'd ever seen. She smiled at me when I said so, telling me, "Oh, this? She's a good gun. I like to have her by my side in a fight. But if you think she's amazing, you should see her big sister in the arsenal." That's how I first learned that I was chosen.